Hey, I'm back trying to finish up. I got 7 minutes and 26 seconds. I Something crashed on my computer, but anyway, I was talking about the Zen saying about before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And a Zen master was asked in his old age, "Is he still practicing Zen?" He said that he did, and asked what it what he did. He said, "When I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm tired, I sleep." The questioner says that didn't sound difficult. Does everyone do that? The master replied that the difference was that he wasn't distracted when he did these things. The difference is not in what you do, but what you don't do. He wasn't distracted. And we talked about, do you need a guru, and blah, blah, blah. Guru's helpful, and I mentioned a few things, but really your practice should be this: focus on yourself. There's an element of selfishness that I've always talked about, where you really have to be focused and dedicated to the point of ignoring everything else. We're all one, so don't worry. You visualize it as simple as selfish because you're focusing on you, but you are me, I am you, we are all together. So here it talks, we talk about practices and blah, blah, blah. And it says, methods are help on the way. But you are on your own. In fact, you are alone. You must be able to put all beliefs aside, including religion. Spirituality is about being your true self. This goes against conditioning, religion sometimes, and the way society exists. It's not an easy path. But these help will come between your journey, and when they do, you can use them. At some point, you need to leave them. God bless you. Talking about teacher, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And the flip side that I've been wrestling with is when the teacher is ready, the students will appear. So I'm still working on that one. But I got my core group. Thank God for my 8 or 9 or 10 people that are in it with me in my little inner circle. Now, here we go, some more questions. No one knows more about me than me, but you're right. Up there near the top of the list of people who understand something about how I tick. How is it possible? Patience is also a form of action. Get that? Patience is an action. Actively be patient. Okay. And that was a simple answer to no one knows me better than I do. But you're right up there near the top of the list, talking about his teacher. Of people understand something about how I tick. How is that possible? Watching, experience. Or enlightened people are unpredictable. Yes, predictability is the result of following commonly agreed upon rules of being. Rules of behavior, rules that every human society develops. We all know the right thing to do, the right way to be, the proper way to be, the good way to be. We all know what is expected in any situation and what behaviors, what reactions are encouraged and which behaviors are frowned upon and punished. All humans function within this system of rules. To some extent or another, all humans follow the rules, which is why human behavior and reactions are predicted and predictable. Humans do have a number of rules for the enlightened ones to follow as well. Reactions and behaviors the humans expect the enlightened one to exhibit, but the enlightened one doesn't. The enlightened one doesn't have any rules. They don't exist within a system of rules. They do not follow it. Therefore, their behavior cannot be predictable. I love that. We all have rules, but the enlightened one. The enlightened one. Let me move down so I can check my minutes. Okay. The light one doesn't. The light one don't. Light ones don't. The light ones don't have rules. They don't exist within the system of rules, and they do not follow it. Therefore, their behaviors and reactions cannot be predictable to those rule makers and the ones with to follow the rules, the followers and the leaders. Why are people not lucky to get enlightenment? Yeah, this is Ramahana Maharishi walked away from home when he was a young boy. He traveled to a distant monastery where he spent weeks in a dark corner, lost in samadhi, while his body was dirty and hungry and eaten by vermin. Later on, Ramarana wandered up a mountain and moved into a cave. He lived in a succession of caves, and eventually an ashram his followers built for him. He owned nothing. He lived in a way that by any human standards would be considered abject poverty. He died from cancer. He definitely was enlightened. Would you like to live the way he did? Would you consider lucky to own nothing, live in a cave? Buddha doesn't own anything either. He spent years starving hermit meditating in the forest, but even once acknowledged as the enlightened one, he owned his robes and a bowl and a pair of sandals. He ate once a day and he begged for his food. Would you say it was lucky to have what Buddha had? Do you think that if you were lucky enough to be enlightened, that you would simply choose not to live in a cave, but instead would become famous and rich and have all the money in the world? But here's the thing. Once enlightened, you would not want to be famous. Once enlightened, you don't give two hoots about money. Once enlightened, you would be basically happy living in a cave on top of a mountain. Do you think this would be lucky? Humans have created a fantasy of enlightenment, being the perfect human life in this fantasy. Becoming enlightened is like going to heaven without having to die first. All the problems go away. Nothing ever hurts. No one is ever unhappy. One is nothing but happy and, of course, rich and famous and good, perfectly good and kind of and noble, loved and followed, admired by all. But this is a fantasy. Just that, a fantasy. It only exists in the human imagination. Enlightenment is not for humans. It does not offer anything that humans want. It does not solve human problems. It does not fill human needs. It does not grant a human standing, autonomy, power over other humans. There's nothing for human enlightenment. Enlightenment is like going to heaven, but one does actually causes one to die. One dies to a normal human life in all dreams. I mean, enlightenment is like going to heaven, but one does actually cause one to die. One dies in a human normal life to all human dreams, to all human desires, to all human treasures. Humans don't consider death to be lucky. I feel reborn with awakening. Where do I begin? Okay, I had enough. Sorry for the glitch, and I'm a little over my 33, but namaste. All the love from my heart to one and all.